Hey guys! Today I've got a nail stamping tutorial for you. It's a very basic and playful nail stamping tutorial. I'm using a full nail motif because I think for beginners it might be a little bit easier. Here we can see the stamper that I've chosen to use today. It is a clear jelly stamper. These come in all shapes and sizes. Basically, it's all down to personal preference. Here is a different kind of jelly stamper. It is a shorter one and you can actually see through the other end, so it's good for when you want to do detailed work. I bought myself off of eBay one of these silicone mats. They basically protect the surface that you are working on, but you don't need one of these by all means. What I do is I put over it some kitchen towels, just paper towels, because I find that when you scrape off the nail polish from your stamping plate, you can just wipe it away much more easily and it sticks to the paper towel. This is the image plate I'm using today. Frankly, I can't really remember what kind it is. I would have to look it up. But it is a whole nail stamping image plate, which means that it will cover the entire area of your nail, which makes it a bit easier and more beginner friendly. There are all sorts of different scrapers you can actually buy. Here I'm just using a plastic card. This is actually a Starbucks card. You can use anything, an old credit card, whatnot. Here I'm showing you a few different kinds of stampers. This is the original one that I actually started stamping with. It's from Conad. It is a much more firmer one. It's all down to personal preference. This is the stamping polish I'm using today. It's from German Dream Nails. It is a German brand, but you can use any stamping polish there is, or even an opaque nail polish. What you're also going to need is acetone, or just plain nail polish remover. Also, a useful tip is a lint roller. It is really good for getting off excess nail stamping polish from your stamper. I also always have cotton rounds at hand. These are good for sometimes cleaning off your stamper or cleaning off your image plate if there's like leftover nail polish left on it. Alright, let's get started. So what I usually do is I clean off my image plate before using it, just with some acetone or nail polish remover. It just helps get rid of any maybe leftover nail polish or dust or whatnot. It just will help you get a clearer image when you actually start stamping. So place your image plate at a nice angle that you feel comfortable with working, something that's not going to make you feel uncomfortable the whole time. Then I swipe a few strokes of nail polish over it and I take my card and scrape off the polish at like a 45 degree angle. Then you have to work fairly fast and don't wait too long, because if you wait too long your image will not pick up on the stamper. So you put the nail polish on, scrape it off. Then you take your stamper, push it onto the image, and then swiftly place it onto the nail. Now we come to the part where the lint roller comes in handy. This is where you just take the lint roller and roll it over your stamper, and it gets rid of all of the excess polish that has been left over from when you were stamping. It is such a practical tip and it works wonders, and it is absolutely fast. Right, now for learning purposes, I'm going to show you the whole process again. So you take some polish, place it on the image plate, take your scraper at a 45 degree angle approximately, press down and swipe over it. And then fairly quickly you take your stamper, press it onto the image. Sometimes you can press it or roll it. It's down to personal preference and also what works for each stamper, because every stamper and every image plate is different, I will say so much. Then you take your stamper and place it on your finger. Press your finger firmly into it without moving it around too much, and voila, a perfect image. Here we have the excess left over again. And what do? We take our practical lint roller and roll over the stamper again. And voila, everything is clean. Right guys, what I also would like to say is that don't stress yourself. Try it a few times before you actually start stamping onto your nails. You do have to work fairly quickly so that the polish doesn't dry and the image picks up and transfers onto your nail properly. But try not to stress yourself, and basically it's all about just not taking too much time. Like I said, each stamping polish, each stamper, and even image plate works differently. Also, they work differently in combination with one another. So basically it's about trial and error. You just have to try it out a few times. I have stampers and stamping polishes that absolutely do not work together, and it can be really frustrating. So when you try it out once or twice, you eventually get the hang of it and you know, okay, so this stamper works with this polish and this plate and vice versa. Right, now because in this tutorial I'm showing you a full nail image, you can basically each time just use different areas of the stamping plate that haven't been used yet, so you don't have to clean it in between each nail stamping. If you, however, are using a smaller image, like, you know, a flower or whatnot, then I would advise you to clean off your stamping plate between each usage, just because it guarantees a much better image. But like I said, in this case and for the purpose of this tutorial and making it exceptionally and brilliantly beginner friendly, I chose a full nail stamping plate just because it makes a lot of things much easier and you have to worry about less and stress yourself less about, you know, cleaning between each usage and stuff like that. What I really like about the clear jelly stampers is because they're so soft and squishy, you actually don't have to roll the stamper onto your nail, like roll it from one side to the other. You can actually just quite firmly push down. So it makes them really easy and comfortable to work with. But like I said, it's all down to personal preference. And sometimes for smaller images, I actually find the smaller, firmer stampers, like the coned one I showed you in the beginning, much better for smaller images, but it's just something you have to try out. Oh, another thing I would like to say is that you can also buy like liquid latex and put it around each nail and then peel it off after you're done. For me personally, that's just like, I don't know, I mean you can do it, but it is also an extra step. So I don't actually worry about the mess around my nails when I'm stamping, because you can take off a lot of it with the lint roller as well, or even like sellotape or something like that. Or at the end, as I will show you, you can just remove it with nail polish remover. So I don't stress about that kind of stuff. For me, it's important what the nails look like in the end and not if they look messy around the nail area, like in between or while I'm actually doing it. I really want to bring to you nail stamping tutorials and tutorials in general that make life as easy as possible so you can get a nice and pretty result without stressing yourself out so much about stuff. Like technically in the past I've even done nail stamping and I haven't even removed the excess on the skin, because literally the next day in the shower it comes off by itself with water. So I say, hey, have fun with it, don't stress yourself out about stuff like this. And don't worry about all the cleanup and stuff like that, because it's all nail polish, it's all makeup, it's supposed to be fun. Now that I've done a few fingers again and my entire plate is covered in stamping polish, I once again take my trusty cotton rounds and put some nail polish remover or acetone on them to remove all the excess nail polish so I can finish off the rest of my nails. Once you have done all your nails, or even in between stamping nails, you can actually take the lint roller and carefully run it around the areas of your skin where there is nail polish, like excess nail polish from the stamping image on, and that will remove most of the nail polish and make cleanup afterwards even easier. Now I'm showing you the like semi-finished and cleaned up nail results. Basically, I've gotten rid of most of the excess nail polish, just like along the nail bed area. You can see there are some little bits left over. This is where my trusty Q-tips come in handy. All you do is you take a Q-tip and you dip it in a little bit of nail polish remover or acetone and run it along the edges of your nail bed. Try to be careful so that you don't actually end up removing any polish from your actual nail. So just take your time and work slowly, there's no rush. Oh, I should also mention that I like to do this step before applying the top coat, the clear top coat, because the longer you give the stamping polish time to dry and actually set on your nail, the easier it is and the less smudging you will get when you apply the top coat. Now, it doesn't take long, but I'm just saying, technically, the more time you give it, the better of a result you will get in the end, and the less likely there will be that you will have an issue with smudging. Right, now the last part of actually applying the top coat I didn't film. The important thing here with the top coat is to make sure you give your nails a little bit of time so the stamping polish can actually dry, which is where the cleanup comes in handy in between. And then take your nail brush, dip it into the nail polish, and when there's a blob on the end, place it on the nail and make sure you don't actually touch your nail with the nail brush. You let the blob of nail polish just glide over the nail, and this is an almost sure way to ensure that no smudging occurs. And hey, even if a bit of smudging occurs, it's not the end of the world. It's probably not even going to show up, especially if you have like a whole nail stamping image like I do. So here we have the finished result. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it comes in handy. And most of all, I hope you have fun trying it out yourself. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you all soon in my next video. Bye!